Hello and welcome back to the worst War Machine channel on the internet. I'm Malorian, and man, I've been fighting so hard to get this video done, but something always screws it over. Whether it's my camera dying, the computer dying, my daughter stealing my computer, whatever it is, I just can't get this video done. So we're going to try, I think it's like attempt number 6 by now, but what we're trying to do here is do a year in review for Malorian. So we basically went over and did the year in review for War Machine, talking about what went well, what didn't went well, giving some gradings. Well, we really want to turn that around now and be looking at me, Malorian, the channel. You know, how has that stuff been going on? Has it been a good year, a bad year? What am I going to stop doing? What am I going to start doing going ahead to 2021? So along with this, one of the things we really want to be capturing is some stuff like, some metrics on the channel. Normally I don't peel back the drapes like this, but we're going to do this right now because it's good for me to reflect, and it's also good for some people to ask the questions as well that now they know. So the very first thing I can talk about now here is subscribers. Now, a lot of people look at my channel and see that I have, 5,000 subscribers, but I'm really living in the past, right? I'm really living off of my old glories, and ever since I moved to War Machine, every single year, my subscribers go down, 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 down. And that's cool. I'm not doing this for the money, for the views. I'm doing this because I almost enjoy the hobby of making the videos as much or more than I do actually playing the game. I actually really enjoy making this content and interacting with you, no matter who it is that actually is willing to listen and watch. Now, that being said, for the first year in a long time, my subscribers actually went up. Over the year 2020, I gained 134 subscribers, and I realized that's a total. So I mean, there's the people I gained, then you have to minus off the people that are like, oh geez, Malorian, yeah, I can't believe he's still making videos. I only followed him for orc stuff. Yeah, unsubscribe. Or the people are like, oh, Malorian, his stuff is utter trash. Unsubscribe. So once you take all those ups and all those downs and average it out, you get to me going up 134. Not massive, but just the fact that I'm actually going up, big thumbs up. I'm loving that a whole bunch. It really inspires me to keep on going with this. I always kind of wonder, like, how far down do I go before I stop? Do I just have like this one subscriber, my mom, that I'm making videos for? But, this is fantastic to see. Great to see that, more War Machine people are coming in as opposed to old fantasy people coming out, and all thumbs up there. Now, another one I want to touch on too, just because people ask this, is like, well, when you have all these videos with all these views, you must be making some very serious money. And the reason why this stuff comes up is when it comes to things like conventions. I don't go to a lot of out-of-state conventions, basically. I do the ones that are nearby, and even though I used to go to ones like in the States, that's when I was making more money from YouTube, and I could kind of like balance these things out. So now people say like, well, why aren't you going to these conventions? Well, it's because I don't have that money, right? Like, I have more kids now and they cost money. But when it comes to like the ad revenue, just so you know that I have all these are not just the revenue from like the videos I made this year. This is the revenue from the views from all the stuff in my past that people might watch. I made $158 over the entire year. So, I mean, that's not nothing. Obviously, hey, that's fantastic. That's another colossal or whatever. I'm not going to turn up my nose on it, but never think that you're making tons of money off of YouTube. Unless you have millions and millions of subscribers, it's going to be kind of small change, right? Like, even when I was at my height, I think I would make, even at that point, like $1,200 over the year, which would then pay for my flights and the stuff like that to my one event. Again, it's not like it's massive, massive, massive. So that's really one there, just kind of show for people who are maybe thinking like, oh, times been rough during a pandemic, maybe I'll be a YouTuber to make money. Do it for the love of it, not for the money of it. And as well, for those wondering why I don't just go to conventions all over the place, well, them kids cost money and it's not coming from here. So, just something to go along with that. Now, something else I want to look at is what were my top videos for 2020. So by top, I'm defining that as the ones that had the most views. Now, the first one was please stop making this my most viewed video. This is the one that I did as my test, where I had on there, it's all about like sexy models. The picture was of a sexy lady. It was really me just challenging the system and saying, if I played to the metrics, if I made things as clickbaity as possible, how well would it do? And very disappointingly, it came back that it would do extremely well. Months and months and months ago, I changed this to having no screen whatsoever, no thumbnail. The title is now "Don't Watch This," even though I realize that'll make some people watch it. And even now, it's still getting more views than my regular videos. So, in fact, over the last year here, 2020, about a third of my views come just from this video. So, I know by trying to move this out, that's going to mean that I'm getting less views in the future and that things will go down, but that's great because this is not the stuff I want to be known for. That was a test. I wanted to just kind of like test and go away, and it's lingered there like a cancer ever since. So I want that to go away. Number 2 is another one that I changed. It's now called Why Old Gamers Are Grumpy About War Machine, and I think it used to be called something like Why People Think War Machine Sucks, something like that, where again, the whole point of it is for me to come on and say, look, War Machine doesn't suck, War Machine's awesome. There's just some old grumpy gamers that stick around too long when they don't play anymore and they whine rather than just doing something else, and they're wrecking it for everybody. That's what I was trying to say there, but you know, people weren't really getting the point. I made it sure that the title's now super clear. Number 3 is a War Machine faction breakdown. And the interesting thing about this is that this is a video that's 2 years old. So obviously I need to make a new video on this because people are watching out-of-date material. Finally, we have a video from this year, which is my very first one for the War Machine Weekly, which is Will War Machine Die in 2020? Again, just to really smack you across the face and say, no, of course not. Even though at that time I had no idea how bad this year would be, War Machine is still going, right? People are still playing, whether it's online or in their own households, right? Like, even in this worst case scenario, War Machine's still going. So no, of course it didn't die. And guess what? It's not going to die next year either. Then I have Where to Start. We're dealing with new War Machine players. What will kill War Machine, where I'm talking about the things that can actually drag it down, like not getting new players. The bad press for Privateer Press. 5 most frustrating things about War Machine, and War Machine's biggest flaw. And then finally, we have a battle report on there. Now, the big thing that I take away from looking at this is that people really attract and look at the things that I say that are negative. And again, I really want this to be a positive channel. Everything I say in here is rah, 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 go War Machine, play War Machine, War Machine's great. And then sometimes the way that I have to grab the attention of the people that are saying naysayers is that I have to use links and like videos, titles like this that are looking for the people that are looking for the negative so I can slap them and tell them the good. But I am getting the feedback that people, when they look up War Machine, just see these titles and then get the feeling that things are bad. So that feedback's coming in loud and clear. I've been beat up about it so much over 2020. We're going to try and make this more positive, and we'll see where we get at the end of 2021. So do know I'm going to try changing that around. All right. So as far as looking at the analytics, that's all I really wanted to do. Although something taking from that, I want to talk about like how it was being a content creator in 2020. One of the things to say is that the War Machine Weekly went fantastic. That's something where at the start of the year, I said I want to do a video basically every single week, at least 50 of them, and then there'll be like a series. That went great. I really enjoyed that. In fact, when I got past 50, I can't remember where I stopped, 55-ish, something like that. When I stopped and took like almost like a month off, I missed it. I really missed doing these videos. Again, this is like the hobby within the hobby for me. So that's coming back. War Machine Weekly Season 2 will be here next year, guaranteed. The part that I am now looking at and thinking I'm going to stop is the battle reports. Battle reports have always been something I've been juggling with. I think I've really held on to them because back in my fantasy days, I believe that's what I was known most for, was the battle reports. And now that's just not the case. people in War Machine don't really want the battle reports I make. I know there's people out there that do enjoy them, but yeah, I have to realize they're in the minority, and the amount of effort that I'm putting into this for that small minority could be going into something else for more of the majority, if I can be putting that better. So along with that, you know, the thing is, like, I realize that my pictures don't really show the movement by movement that people want. You have to get that from either having like the streamed events for the war table, the full video of the game, the sped up video, something like that lets you see everything. Unfortunately, that just takes a lot more time, and I'm trying to reduce that. Again, I'm a father of 3, busy working guy. There's other things I do, scouting, blah, blah, blah. And so I want this to be as little effort as possible. So even though I know making a battle report like the Wargamer Girl ones, where it shows every little interaction, would be amazing, would be great. I know how to do that. I have the technology to do that. I just don't have the time. You know, making one 20-minute Wargamer Girl type video would take me probably 2 days. And so it might be worth, you know, if I have like some vacation somewhere, being like, you know what, I'm going to do this, maybe do like 1 or 2 of these a year. But the problem is that they also go out of date so quick. So after all that effort you put in, you know, Mark IV comes or something, or there's this like big errata, and then it's all wrong. And so I just really feel that even at that best case, that's not where I want to be. It's not the material that I'm known for, that I do well. So I'm going to focus it somewhere else. So, all right, where are we going to focus this somewhere else? Well, we already said in 2021, I'm going to do the Malorian Weekly Season 2. That'll be there every single week, at least 50 videos. But the other thing I want to do as well is some bonus videos. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is because this next year is going to be a critical year. There's so much that's been put into chaos by the pandemic that as things, even as like vaccines are going out and things will start opening up, you know, you have all the old gamers where they're like, you know what, I don't even really remember all the rules anymore. I don't want to go in and lose, or like, you know what, I put my stuff in a shelf, it's all dusty now. I don't even know what my lists are anymore. Or something broke, I don't even want to fix that. Or I don't even know if my friends are going to be coming back. I don't know if my store is even going to be open. There's going to be so much rebuilding that we're going to have to do in 2021. So I want to double my efforts into that. Now, the first thing I'm going to be doing is going to be through Field of Fire. It's going to be with, you know, through Emmanuel's area there, and it's going to be all positivity. This is going to be fuel your flames, and this is going to be all about taking whatever you're passionate about in the hobby and turning that up to 11. So positivity, positivity, positivity. What do you love about the hobby? This is how you can do that even more. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're scared to do, even though you're passionate about, let's just do it. Just positivity all the way. And I'm wondering how that's going to go. I really hope it's going to be taken well. It's something where I think I used to do this more in my old fantasy days. We're like, let's take something crappy and we're going to talk it up and say how to make it amazing. It's all just smiles and greatness. But this is going to be even more real, because it's going to be like, hey, do you like painting? You should be doing painting. Believe in yourself. This is the resources to get better. You know, even where you're at right now is already going to be fantastic. You know, like that type of a thing, right? Just trying to motivate you to take what you enjoy and just enjoy it. Now, what I'm going to be doing with these additional ones, and just so you know, is that there'll be the weekly Malorian Weekly, and then I'll be alternating between the other 2. So one's that fueling your flame, and then the other one is going to be going through with Brawl Machine casters. So this is something I'm doing with the Line of Sight folks. It's going to be going over on their side, and it's going to be really taking a Warcaster and doing like an old-timey chain attack review on it, but from the goggles of Brawl Machine. So Shay, you know, if you're going to be taking Shay in Brawl Machine, based on these different criterias, what is it good at, what is it bad at, and also breaking it down, like, is this something as a new player you should be doing, as an experienced gamer, stuff like that. And I'm really looking forward to that. Again, I think that in this new year, where we're having to start small, Brawl Machine is going to be the spot for it. So between trying to really encourage the Brawl Machine and also encouraging just passion for the hobby, I really want to mix that in. So there'll be 2 videos every single week. one Malorian weekly, one of those other ones, and we'll just kind of keep going with that. I might sprinkle in something else. You know, I did that Christmas one, really showed me I need better lighting, but I miss doing fun videos like that. I used to do those fun videos more, and from doing these things with, you know, Emmanuel and the rest of them, like with the radio show for a Riot Quest, you know, it seems like that's returning to this group where we want to be doing fun things. So I want to try and get into that more, connect with other YouTubers, but we'll see how that goes, right? I really feel that there's a lot out there and there's a lot of potential. It's gonna take that effort and that time. So anyway, for all you watching, know that 2020 was actually a pretty good year as far as Malorian goes for numbers and things like that. And I want to take that and I just want to blast into 2021, just putting out material out there, hoping to record every single Thursday now. So the videos will be coming out like the Thursday or the Friday, depending how that night goes. But yeah, you should be expecting lots of material. And if you have any questions on this, any concerns, please post it down below. But otherwise, we'll catch you later. Bye.